You've probably heard of Umbrella Academy. The show's third season just came out on Netflix a few months ago. The actor who plays Five, who's also the main character, is Aidan Gallagher. The 18-year-old is not just an actor, but a musician too. That's not the only surprising thing about him. Let's look at some of these in this video. First up, Aidan Gallagher is also a pretty talented musician, in addition to being an actor. Back in 2018, when the first season of Umbrella Academy came out, Aidan released his debut single. Of course, back then, we only knew him as the amazing actor who gave a show-stopping performance in Umbrella Academy. It was honestly just so crazy at that time to imagine him as anyone but Five, his character in the show, because he just played him so well. Anyway, back to Aidan's music. His debut single was released on March 22nd, what most MCR fans might remember as the most heartbreaking day in their lives. If you know, you know. He released the track Blue Neon on his YouTube channel. It's a great upbeat pop song, and it has a club version. As you can imagine, it's a great song to just vibe and dance along to in the club. Aidan also went on to release more music in 2019, and even collaborated with the very popular contestant on The Voice, Trinity Rhodes. The duet track was called Miss You, and fans absolutely loved it. They loved it so much that Aidan was even supposed to tour, but there were a few complications due to COVID. Next up, this might shock you. He's been accused of bullying. Back in 2022, he was involved in a controversy in which people said that he was actually bullying his fans online. He made a few very questionable and problematic comments about a lot of stuff: women, cancer, depression, and what he thinks consent actually is. It's pretty shocking because this happened in 2020, and he was only 16 at the time. Eventually, this caught up to him, of course, because someone on YouTube made a whole video about all the controversial and extremely problematic things that the young actor had said on Twitter and Discord. As you can imagine, this went viral super quick. In the videos, it's not confirmed that an account that was telling people to stop talking about their struggles with depression is Aidan, but fans were pretty suspicious. Ever since it happened though, Gallagher has denied that the account belonged to him. A lot of people said that this was bullying. There was another rumor about Gallagher making rounds on the internet at the same time as this. Someone claimed that Aidan was inappropriately flirting with this girl named Eden, who was his date to a premiere. Even though he's pretty young, it looks like Aidan Gallagher has been involved in a lot of controversy. Next, Aidan is actually a die-hard vegan. Vegans haven't really been the internet's favorite for a while because of their cult-like personality. It seems like Aidan used to be one of them. Someone once said that Aidan thinks that meat eaters are Satan, even though this wasn't actually confirmed. The actor and musician has been pretty vocal about how much he values sustainability and how veganism is the best option to save the planet. He even tweeted that the best way to reduce air pollution is to stop eating meat. Well, we don't really know how true that is, but a lot of fans who were anti-vegan started camping in the replies of that tweet. Still, it's pretty amazing how he's so willing to save the planet at such a young age. Most older actors or other people in the same industry usually don't seem to care at all. We should definitely give him credit where it's due. Now, did you know that Aidan Gallagher is the youngest Goodwill ambassador of the UN? It looked like he was doing a lot at age 14, considering all the things that we've just talked about. 2018 was a pretty happening year for the young actor and inspiring musician. He was also given the title of UN Goodwill Ambassador d'Or that same year. According to the UN's website, he wants to create more awareness about the climate crisis amongst his age group, which is actually very cool. It's very rare to see celebrities making good use of their fame, and one thing for sure, Aidan knows how to use his influence in the best way possible. Umbrella Academy a few years ago was the biggest show on Netflix, and he knew that there would be a lot of people following him right after. It's so cool to see someone use their platform for good. More people should definitely try it. It's also interesting to see how Aidan was literally one of the youngest cast members, but in terms of activism, did more than all of his cast members combined. That's exactly why he's a fan favorite. Next up, Aidan is a committed environmental activist. There's a reason this young guy is one of the youngest Goodwill ambassadors for the UN. It's actually awesome how he's so committed to living a sustainable lifestyle and saving the planet. Of course, it's not a one-man job, but this young man is definitely doing his part, and some more too. One of his main priorities is to save the world from greed and polluters. Those are some big words, but that's nothing for this man, because it looks like saving the planet is his life's mission. Aidan isn't all talk and no action though. He talked about how he's working on a reforestation project a few years ago, though he said he's still figuring out the logistics of it. He's also extremely vocal about everything climate related on social media as well, because he thinks that reaching a huge audience is the best way to make a difference. lines. And he's probably right, because a lot of young viewers look up to him. Next up, he's a huge fan of comic books. Well, honestly, this shouldn't come as a surprise to a lot of people because he does seem like the nerdy type, but like the cool nerds. But also, Umbrella Academy is also based on comic books by Gerard Way. That's also why the show is so special to him, because he literally grew up reading comics and being a huge fan to actually starring in a real-life comic. He also talked about how he really wanted to do justice to the complexities of his character 5 in Umbrella Academy. He definitely did that, because it's not easy playing a 50-something-year-old trapped in the body of a 13-year-old. Gallagher also said that it's an incredible privilege to be able to play his character, who has so many layers to it. Well, it's definitely amazing how he played the character so naturally and flawlessly. Everything in the show is just so perfectly executed. You can't help but marvel at it. Next up, he thinks that playing 5 was his dream role. Umbrella Academy was a huge success, especially when it came out. The show has all sorts of diverse characters with so many different storylines and complex personalities. But 5 is like the uniting force for all the siblings. He's literally the one who saves the world and gets stuck in an apocalyptic reality for like 50-something years. According to Aidan, it was a once-in-a-lifetime role, and we think he played it pretty well. Of course, it might be hard for the rest of the siblings and some fans in the beginning to take him seriously because of his little schoolboy uniform and his funny way of talking, but he's really the character who brings the show together. He's the only one who can truly harness the power that his siblings have and use it to save the world. We can't forget his brief romance with the mannequin in the first season. You just can't help but love his character, even if you dislike him a bit for certain things. Every season just got tougher for the poor guy. Let's hope the next one is better. Lastly, he loves his career. Even though Aidan's been caught up in controversy quite a bit, from being accused of bullying to being under fire for having extreme views about climate action, he's still pretty grateful for the career that he has. In almost every single interview, he mentions that he's so lucky to play the role of 5 in such a great show, and how he's surrounded by so many great actors and actresses. He makes sure to let his fans know that he really cares and values them by interacting as much as he can on social media, and he also acknowledges how things are so amazing for him career-wise. It's really great how humble he is, because a lot of young actors and actresses often let the fame get to their heads. But it looks like Aidan hasn't had that happen to him yet. It's really admirable how he's achieved so many things at his age. We can't wait to see what the future holds for him. He's definitely a man of many talents. That's a wrap for this video. Which fact about Aidan Gallagher was the most shocking? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.